My name is Ashton Taylor from North Crowley High School. The world around us is constantly evolving and changing, the latter, of course, being the most important. Globally, we write off the ideas of yesterday, and we set our sights upon young people to lead us to tomorrow. The youth is expected to take up the torch, promote innovation, medical discovery, and all sorts of technological development. Unfortunately, this begets the question, are we ready? And to that I say, we are not. This represents a problem within all of our communities, which I am calling millennial apathy and disregard. Allow me to elaborate further. Young people in our communities lack the tenacity of their forefathers. We dodge current event, governmental, and school policies, all in the name of them being boring. Christy Gustafson of the Huffington Post concluded that the younger generation, the reputed future of our country, isn't all that fond of politics. Instead, young people today take interest in a pop cultural pattern. However, when it comes to the issues that affect us most, there's such a blatant disregard. We would rather listen to music by artists who do not care about us, follow the lives of a celebrity who should be irrelevant to us, all while following asinine online trends so that America's corporations can make money off of us. Should this cycle be interrupted in any way, and young people are ready to take up their torches? We're very similar to our ancestors in that regard. However, we lack the resolve to implement any meaningful progress. The youth from generations before led international protests, fought alongside the likes of Dr. Martin Luther King, and carried the brunt of global wars. Yet when it comes to the issues we face now, like climate change, global military conflicts, or racial inequality, it is unclear if my generation will be a clear successor. Furthermore, young people today have an enclave of information at our fingertips, yet we remain so naive to the world around us. In a recent Pew Research study, millennials perform the poorest of the public's knowledge of current events. Get 100 young people in a single room and ask them, how do you feel about climate change? What is your opinion on what happened in the news today? Who is your city council person, your mayor, your congressperson, your senator? You will receive nothing but blank faces. We have some grand idea that the adults in the room will take care of everything, but we fail to understand the pivotal role we have in the global networking and political process. The ideas of those who come before us wear out, therefore it is incumbent on us to stir up the process, bring a new perspective with new ideas and solutions. Any point in the history of our nation where structural change has taken place, it was on the backs of young people. It was our youth who joined the global fight against fascism. It was our youth challenging the racist Jim Crow laws targeting black people. It was our youth challenging the deceptive ways of the Nixon administration during the Vietnam War. It is now our turn to follow the tide of history and solve the issues impertinent to us, from climate change to poverty and even income inequality. Yet we must first rectify the issue of apathy among young voters. Circle, the Center of Voting Information and Research, is estimating that roughly 31% of youth 18 through 29 turned out to vote in the 2018 midterms. This means that nearly 70% of eligible voters set out when so much was at stake. Youth Service America found that one of the reasons young people don't engage in our electoral process is because they are not being reached by the right people. Furthermore, they found young people who are contacted by an organization or a campaign are far more likely to vote. Additionally, those who discuss an election are more likely to vote in it. This means we need to pull more young people into the electoral process. This can come in the form of more voter outreach programs, or even having schools set aside time for students to discuss their opinion on what they heard about in the news. Another reason young people don't engage in politics is they don't know enough about civics. Something of this magnitude is something that affects the entirety of our communities and should be solved as such. This could be fixed by doing something as simple as finding someone well-versed in civics and convincing them to teach free classes that inform voters on our electoral process. Or, if that doesn't succeed, we can go to organizations that have a vested interest in their neighborhoods, like churches. For example, my church has a youth program that has run engagement and registration efforts before, resulting in hundreds of new voters. Imagine if we could replicate this on a citywide, countywide, statewide, or even nationwide scale. Little steps like these can catalyze vast structural change. In the end, however, it will take millennials becoming more cognizant of the issues we face and having the conviction and courage to do something about it. We as young people must be agents of change. We must eagerly embrace this role knowing that the next generation will judge us not only by the things we do accomplish, but also by the things we do not accomplish.